right, good afternoon, everyone. This is TJ Gordon, and welcome to the third interview of the Building Intersectional Disability Communities Through Art and Conversations post-event interview series. And in this interview series, we interview some feature artists who either hosted the workshops or was part of the art and conversation discussions that took place for the past 2 to 3 weeks. And with all of them, we took away many, many things that not only helped us with identifying with our intersectional identities, but also how can we use our identities and art and talent to address racial justice and racial healing in the disability community and also the community in general in Chicago and throughout Illinois too. Today we have a dope ass artist, Genevieve Nutley. And for those who don't know, she was hosting the third workshop during which we was talking about celebrating intersectional identities, especially considering that this month is Pride Month. It's also Autistic Pride Day, which was a couple weeks ago. We also had Juneteenth, and then Disability Pride is next week. So this and next month is pretty much the perfect month to say, this is who I am, and I celebrate all my identities. And so enough of me talking. Let's get to the conversation. So, like I said before, you have hosted the workshop on, it was pretty much a painting the power fist.
Yes. And I want to make it more simple. And we did an exercise drawing a Venn diagram to illustrate what intersectionality looks like. And I thank you so much for having me here today.
No problem at all. My apologies for not making it. This is like my way of apologizing to you for not showing up.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so our session was very powerful. I'm very proud of our participants, the way they expressed their own identities and how those intersections informed their experiences. And I painted the participants, but I also had an exercise of a Venn diagram. I wanted to help illustrate what intersectionality looks like. I'm a visual person, so I had participants draw circles within every identity, and those circles intersected as a Venn diagram, and we talked about what lives in those intersections. Like in mine, as you can see, I wrote racism, sexism, and ableism. My diagram circles whether I'm a woman, I'm Mexican, and I'm disabled.
Mm-hmm.
And the examples help the participants illustrate their intersections and how those intersections are a battle towards liberation. We all don't live one single life,
Mm-hmm.
one single issue lives. Our lives are made up of different issues. Like I'm not affected only by being a woman, but my experience is affected by being a brown woman. And even though I'm Latin and being disabled,
Mm-hmm.
and all those three intersections, when I celebrate them, they form who I am. They form my communities and how I contribute towards empowerment and freedom. And in my workshop, I invite participants to look at their intersections and acknowledge the power behind who they are and how we have to stand together as one coalition in order to advance to an ultimate liberation.
I got you. And I like the how you describe your workshop where you have participants draw a Venn diagram of their identities. And I also like the take where they not just use the Venn diagram to show how intersectionality affects the barriers they face on a daily basis or from a systemic level, but also how they can use intersectionality to empower
Mhm.
their identities. Oftentimes, when we talk about intersectionality, it's usually about barriers,
Mhm.
but it's not just barriers, but also recognize I'm not just a person of color. I also have a disability. I'm also in the LGBT plus community. I'm also this. I'm also that, and I'm proud of all of that. So I really appreciate how you conducted the workshop to where people could recognize their whole selves, if that makes sense.
Totally. There is so much power in who we are and in the different ways that we move through the world. And we can, it builds community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a beautiful thing to be uniquely who you are.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, I'm a big fan of paintings, by the way, and I noticed going back to celebrating your um identities, it also comes out in your painting as well, especially whether it's showing your Latinx roots or analyzing your womanhood or analyzing the sexuality piece or the disability or all the intersections that comes with those things. Would you like to talk more about the process that you go through in the paintings and also which message you usually try to get out of those paintings through intersectionality?
Yes, thank you so much, TJ. That's a great question. So my art is very intuitive. And when I paint a reflection of my lived experiences. That's why you see so many themes of my Latinx heritage, my womanhood, my sexuality, my passions for advocacy, for anti-racist politics. I reflect in my work because my paintings are my voice. I,
Mm-hmm.
I literally put my heart and soul onto canvas. And my works are so much of who I am. And I want people to see my works as not only a voice for me, but a voice for others alike. And I hope people can feel my positivity and hope
Mm-hmm.
and relate to my paintings.
Gotcha. And I can see like your voice in the paintings too, and how no matter what you paint or no matter how you express what you want to express, I still feel like the power of what you want to say through those paintings. And you, from a viewer's perspective, you pretty much give us a message that's loud and clear. This is who I am. This is what I experience. I wouldn't say take it or leave it, but pay close attention.
Well, that's another aspect that I try to live with or express to others how important visibility is. Like being disabled, being a woman, being an ex, society tries so hard
Mm-hmm.
to put you in the shadows, to put you back in the closet, to undermine who you are, to live on the margins. But I believe in radical visibility. Like, my art is a tool for me to show the world this is who I am, this is my story,
Mm-hmm.
this, and hopefully others can be inspired to do the same.
Absolutely. Spoken like a true Frida Kahlo.
Uh, I love Frida. I'm very inspired by her. After I was in the accident, and to my mother, and my mother grew up around Diego Rivera being so popular in Mexico and Frida. And she said, oh, eres mi Frida. And I was like, who's Frida? But in that time, when I felt so lost, without purpose, and this narrative that society puts in you, that oh, you're disabled, your life is gonna be really hard now. There's not a lot you can do. There's so many barriers, and there's no room for growth. Feel like color was and is my inspiration to be unapologetically me. And that's
Mm,
one of the reasons why I love her so much. I study her, and she's like my supermodel. She feels like she's the ancestor.
Our ancestor from a disability community's perspective, and definitely your ancestor from not only a painting aspect, but Latinx in particular as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, I personally see the similarities with you and Frida. I mean, minus the disability part, which is obvious, and the beauty, but also, I feel like with both of you all's work, it gives examples to the marginalized that even with the barriers they put in front of you all, the barriers that they put in front of us, we can still express ourselves boldly, not just for our mouths, but also hands, our art, our bodies, our minds. We just want to, we still could be unapologetically ourselves through art. And I think, as you alluded to, you and Frida's work reflect pride. Granted, disability pride is more of a new thing, but even in Frida's time, it was still remarkable how disability pride was already being displayed.
Yeah, and she does a great job at portraying her realities of
Mm-hmm.
pain, heartbreak, oppressions of the Mexican Revolution. And that's what I think is so important about this disabled art. It serves as an avenue for discourse.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to stop and look and start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I get our issues and dialogues that will further our freedom and liberations. I want people to stop, look, and talk. You know, my art is in decoration. I,
Absolutely.
I'm not making art for rich white collectors to put in their condos. I'm making art for the people as empowerment, education, and pride.
Mic drop. I mean, I wish I could just like say, that's pretty much the interview. You pretty much sum everything in a nutshell. But because we know each other and plus we're artists, that's too short of an interview.
I feel so honored that you interviewed me because I really appreciate you as a person, and it's very authentic that a conversation.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just doing my job. That's all. Not that amazing. And plus, um, talking to fellow artists, even though I'm more artist slash researcher, whatever you want to call, I feel like talking with my fellow folks is more authentic than conducting formal interviews because yeah, you may get information, but having a conversation is more stimulating than just saying, so what did you do? What is your art about?
Yeah, it's important to get these dialogues going, creating new discourses for new avenues of, of organizing and coming together as communities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of freedom and liberation, some of your works, I noticed involves sexuality and womanhood, including showing the chest.
Yes, I, I do have works and I have modeled for artworks with my bare breast.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a woman gender accessibility major, and I'll be graduating in August with my BA. And that major has really propelled my art in the way I want to express that I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I can show my body. I can paint portraits of naked women.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not afraid of the pushback. I am not gonna cover up to make men more comfortable so men don't assault. No, that I refuse to be someone I'm not, to make a man comfortable with the view. Like, women are beautiful and powerful. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
our breast is where we feed our children, where it's a lifeline. Our ovaries make life, and that's so powerful. And why am I gonna hide? This is how I feel good and showing who I am. And I mean, there's some women who feel comfortable dressing more conservative, and that's okay. It's okay to be how you are and what you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm comfortable in being more expressive and using my body as resistance and being disabled. You either in the asexual are fetishized by society. And I'm disabled and I'm sexual, and those two exist together, even though society says it doesn't.
Absolutely. And that's especially when we get to the conversation of how disabled bodies are looked at. I think it is important that you just say, this is who I am, this is my body. We are just as beautiful as everybody, folks. Either you take it or leave it. We not gonna sell short just because you're afraid, essentially. And I also can see we are fetishized a lot, especially disabled people of color. It's either we are, from a sexual standpoint, we are angels and we should not know about our sexual beings, to, oh, we whores.
Yeah,
But there's no in between, or there's no
but
respect.
fantasy. What's someone's fantasy? Or, yeah, it's there's the economy is very harmful because it's placing us at two opposite spectrums.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, we all live in between.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to accept us to be whatever we want.
Agreed. And that also leads to another thought that I have. I think I already talked about it earlier, but what would you say to the people that sees your art, especially the able-bodied viewers, that says, why does this woman draws or pose naked all the time or paints naked all the time? That's disgusting. Disabled people should not be doing that. What would you say to those eyes?
Um, you're uncomfortable, good. I mean, I'm not afraid of making people uncomfortable when there's no real reason to be uncomfortable or to fear my liberated expression. Like, I just think people need to stop having opinions with no basis, no empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just tell the people, put yourself in my shoes. Think about how people like me feel. And if you're comfortable, then obviously you need to learn more, to read, to talk to different people, open up your world.
I think everybody should open their eyes more often. That's the reality we in. There's not really a binary period, whether it's gender, sexuality, race, whatever. I think life in general is a whole spectrum. And I agree with you on Holly that I think people should be more open to life's experience as opposed to saying one or the other. it's got to be this or that. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, we're not cookies. We're not gonna be. There's no cookie cutter that produces us. We're all born. We all change and step through our life to be different. And I think Marianne's is so beautiful. Where's your will to be weird?
I love being real too.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed already, weird is better. It's better to just be yourself.
Yeah, like life is so short and life is fleeting. So why not just be weird and be unapologetic and live in joy, not fear?
I agree with you 100%. Just be yourself. I think my last burning question that I have, and I asked all the people who were a part of the interview the similar question. I think that's the only similar question that I ask. All the other times is just let it out, let's talk. But from this series, whether it's from the workshops or the conversations about you all's art, as a result of participating in the Healing Illinois series, how can disabled people of color or disabled artists of color in general could use their art and talent to promote racial healing in the disability community in Illinois and beyond?
Well, I think there's many ways to do that. I don't think any artist but this ones should be restrained to not express. I think it's important to make art in any way, make art. I connect with others. That's why I think the workshops were so powerful because we're bringing people together,
Mhm.
creating a space for healing art making and important conversations. And that's what people need to be doing more of. Talk to people, connect with others, learn from others. Like I've learned a lot from the artist Justin Cooper. And I'm really grateful for our friendship and how we can help each other
Mm.
see new perspectives to incorporate in our art. And I think, yeah, make art and connect with others because we learn from each other and we only have each other to move forward.
Mm. Yep, I definitely agree with everything, especially the power of working together to make a better place. And by the way, Justin Cooper is great. He's
Yeah,
dope. He's the bomb. We gotta love Coop.
yeah. It's about dignity.
Yeah. All right. So how can we follow more of your works? Do you have a website, Instagram that we could follow your works?
Yes, I have both. So my Instagram is Genevieve Nutley, and that's my handle. And my website is the same, GenevieveArts.com. And yeah, I post videos and photos, and I share content about my activism and
Mm-hmm.
advocacy. And on my website, I post upcoming events I'm a part of, so people can get involved and make connections. Yeah.
That's what's that's what's up. And don't forget, y'all, if y'all want commissions, hit up Genevieve through her website also. And please support your artists. Please pay them. Please see all the beautiful work that Genevieve is putting on. It costs. And if you love y'all artists and want them to survive in this world and thrive in this world, pay them. That's my personal PSA to you all listening.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I feel like disabled artists aren't privileged in the art world, and it's really hard to get paid for your work. So thank you for that.
No problem at all. Like I said, we are here for each other. We looking out for our fellow artists and activists. So just having out. Yeah. So that's wow. There's so many questions, and geez, another 50 minutes interview. More than 50 minutes. See, this is why we love conversating. Time goes by so fast.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm,
I'm pleasure and having fun.
always. But all right, folks, that's all we have for today. And but don't worry because we will have more feature artists to cover. But remember to follow Genevieve and is it Genevieve Raw Art?
Genevieve,
Yes, Genevieve Raw Arts on Instagram and GenevieveRawArts.com if you want to see not only her website but also her advocacy as well. And once again, Genevieve, thank you so much for being a part of this interview. And thank you for the workshop as well.
thank you so much. I'm so grateful for having this platform to build community through art.
I'm grateful as well. Absolutely.
What a time to be alive.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Peace out.
Bye.